Hey, good afternoon. This is Bob, Trade Genius, the 2nd of May. And interesting a Fed report. As expected, they did not raise interest rates. And their I guess it's their narrative that kind of freaked people out here after a couple minutes, that they see growth slowing and inflation picking up, and people automatically started thinking stagflation. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, then why did gold and silver and the miners then also sell off and the dollar move higher? So I think we're just having some games here right now. And one of the things that you have to bear in mind too is that the first move on that Fed move was up. Okay, usually that's the follow through for the rest of the week. Even though we had this pretty good sell off here, I can't tell you how many times that people traded this to the short side, held short, and woke up the next morning to watch the market just start climbing and climbing and climbing. So you just have to be careful here, and that you don't get caught up in the enthusiasm of the Fed day, because it could very easily be an ambush. We're pretty close here to the weekly support area that usually gives a pretty good bounce. And so just just bear that in mind. I think next week will be more telling. You got to realize too, Friday is the unemployment report. I think that'll amplify things one way or the other. But at this point right now is that I'm still holding my diagonal on 260s on the put side, and I've been selling every Monday, Wednesday, Friday 260s, and holding the 260 for May 18th, because I think we eventually go down. But I also bought and I have a diagonal on the 268 calls, and but those calls expire Wednesday, and so I have a 260 against it, 268 against it for Friday, and I'll put one against it on Monday before I get out of that trade, or I may just turn it into a vertical depending on how and if we get a bounce tomorrow. So that's on the SPY side. Flipping over to oil, is that trade's moving in our direction, and waiting for it to continue to fall a couple times today. Let me move out in time frame here. Is that it's just a slow bleed. There's a lot of institutional and sovereign and geopolitical support for oil. A lot of collateral is based on it, and so it's going to be a hard thing to push down. And so my view though is we're still going to come down and hit this VWAP area here, and I still have a 14 put on with a 1350 for Friday, and so far that trade is working out as expected. And then on Friday I'll see what and where I want to go with that trade for next week. So let's take a look at silver. Okay, as I said yesterday, silver got pushed down pretty hard down to here, and it's always, when you're 1, 2, 3% below the moving VWAP, it's always a good place to take a trade. And so it gapped up today, and it pushed, and it came back down. That's what makes me a little suspect on the stagflation narrative. I think if traders really truly believed we have stagflation coming, then silver and gold would be rocketing like it did last time we had stagflation. And then here's gold. Okay, now gold is where silver was yesterday, and so keep an eye on it. This might be a place to take an entry. Money flow kicked back up, but it was looking really good there for a while, and then sold back down. That's why I said I'm just questioning this move a little bit. Okay, GDX fell below, and GDXJ probably looks similar. Okay, broke above it, but another big wick here. They sold it right back off. So, it's not stagflation if gold, silver, and the miners aren't running, and even the cryptos popped and then gave back some of its gains too. So, I think people might be more rightly fearing not stagflation, but just out and out recession. And so I think that's more the thing and that's where I come in on this. you're not going to have high commodity costs. You're not going to have high interest rate costs if you start rolling into a recession. The ADP report wasn't that great, and you can see it around you. I mean, where's the growth coming from? So just bear that in mind. And I think that's all I'll share today. Tomorrow I'll get into some more specifics here, and maybe some opportunities to take some trades now that the Fed's out of the way. But I think you got to wait to see what happens probably by Friday before you can make any kind of determination on direction here, because tomorrow they could just flip this thing and shake more people off, as is their habit. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.